What's going on, everybody? We're back for another video this week, and it's gonna be another top 5, or I guess top 6, but there's a bonus one. So top 5 rankings, and I'm gonna be ranking my top 5 favorite AMG models. Now, disclaimer, this is my ranking, so yeah, there are way more AMG models out there, but this is my opinion. You know, these are my favorite ones, and I'm going to be honest, I love all the AMG cars. I just kind of compiled a quick list of top 5 of the ones that I really love. So going ahead and starting off this list with number 5, we have the 2007 Mercedes R63 AMG. Now you might be thinking to yourself, Evo, out of all the legendary AMG cars, why would you put a minivan on this list? Well, because it's a minivan with 500 horsepower that can haul 7 people. That's why. So the R63, if you guys haven't watched my review video of the R350 Blue Tech, go ahead and watch it, because I kind of talk about a little bit more of the background on the R-Class, but just a quick breakthrough. Mercedes released the R-Class for the model year 2006 in the States, and then the R63 was a 2007 only year production. I believe there was about 200 of them made worldwide, and only a handful of those made it to the States. So it's like one of the rarest AMGs out there, because, you know, not a lot of people bought them, but the people that did know what it is. And now they're starting to, you know, have a resurgence or whatnot. There's like a cult following for these cars, because it's a minivan with 500 horsepower and a 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8. What's not good about that? I mean, they're fantastic cars. They ride great. They're fast for a minivan, and when you're late because you overslept and you need to get the kids to soccer practice, you're probably going to be the first one there, even though you left your house a lot later than everybody else, because you're probably going to be there first, because those cars move. 500 horsepower, all-wheel drive. The only downside to that thing is the weight. It is very heavy. Of course, it's a minivan, and then you have all the leather and panel roof and all that, so it is heavy, but you're not really gonna care about that when you're accelerating like a freight train. So that's the number 5 on this list. Moving on to the number 4 car on this list, we have, and particularly, the C217 Mercedes-Benz CL65 AMG. These were produced from 2007 all the way to 2013, which Mercedes after that killed that, because they released the new the S-Class coupe, basically, as we have it today. Now, you might again be thinking to yourself, why would you put that, you know, the CL, those have a lot of electronics. It's, you know, basically an S-Class with 2 doors. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I put it on this list, because it's an S-Class with 2 doors, and you have a 630 horsepower twin turbo V12 that makes 738 pound-feet of torque. 738 pound-feet of torque. And now you're thinking to yourself, that sounds all great, but those are probably a nightmare to get maintained. Those motors are pretty bulletproof. Yeah, the electronics are gonna go bad. It is what it is. But the motor itself, the mechanical components are bulletproof on the engine, because the engine's been made since like 2004 or 5, and they've made it all the way to they just killed it off with the new S-Class, that there was the final production V12 from Mercedes. But regardless of that, you have a big body Mercedes, a beautiful coupe, pillarless windows, so when you lower all 4 windows down, it looks beautiful because there's no pillar to make it ugly. And you have and you know, say this with me, 738 pound-feet of torque, twin turbo V12. What more do you want? That is literally mind-boggling, that you can buy a car from the factory with that. I mean, nowadays we have Dodge Demons and Hellcats and whatnot making that power, but they're not comfortable cars. They're not going to provide the luxury that the CL does. And just the way those CLs look, about how discreet they are and low key, it doesn't scream or shout I have a fire-breathing V12 and I have a bunch of power. It just looks like any other mundane dentist or lawyer or orthodontist car that anybody could buy. That, you know, it is what it is. And I did forget to mention for the R63, but those tend to hover around the $40,000 to $50,000 range. I don't know if they've gone up recently because of the market. They probably have, but the CLs tend to be around the 35 to 40,000 range. That's probably a clean one with some you know, lower miles. Obviously, lower miles, the price can be higher. Now, if you do what I do, and I wouldn't recommend it, you buy a basket case salvage title one, you could probably get one for like 10, maybe more. And even the regular CL600 is a cool car, because that still uses a twin turbo V12. It's just not tuned like the AMG one is. So that's number 4. Next up on this list is the 2005 and 6, and they believe they went up a little bit more, the Mercedes CLK DTM AMG. Now, for those of you that don't know what that is, and you live in the States, I wouldn't blame you because they never sold them here. It is a race car version of Mercedes's mundane CLK Coupe. So they took the Le Mans, or the DTM race car, and basically homologated it for the street. So it has a 5.5 liter supercharged V8 and 113K. You guys know I love that engine. It's got that. It's got fender flares because it looks amazing. It's got a big wing, and it's got racing bucket seats. Oh yeah, and radio is deleted and the AC is deleted. I believe you could have optioned it back in, but standard, it was deleted. So it's literally a race car for the street because it's a homologated version of the DTM race car. Those cars are so amazing. They look just bonkers because they have all those wide fender arches. The only thing that is, I guess, a downside to it is that they never were sold in the States. You can't buy a CLK DTM, and they're not old enough to be legal. They're not 25 or 25 years old to be legal to be imported into the States. But I believe through some like show and display permits or something like that, there's like 2 or 3 of them, I think, in the States that are roaming around. I don't know how that works. Maybe, I don't know, and I don't want to give any false information. Maybe because they sold a regular CLK here that you can import it. I don't know. But regardless, it is a beautiful car. It's very rare. I believe there's only like 50 something of them in the world. And they also made a CLK DTM convertible, which is even more rare than the coupe. I mean, you know, and then the CLK 63 Black Series, which is another bonkers and amazing mad wide archer flares. Oh my goodness, just amazing. But yeah, that's the number 3 car on this list. Now moving on to the number 2 on this list, you guys are gonna be kind of like, this is a little weird. This was really hard to not put at number 1 because I love these cars in general, but the number 1 list is just has my heart. But regardless, number 2 on this list is the Mercedes-Benz W140 S70 AMG. If you guys don't know what the S70 AMG is, and I'm actually going to pair the S70 and S73 AMG. That was a non-Mercedes and AMG. This was pre-merger. They made a bonkers S-Class that they took the W140 V12 S600 S-Class, and they bored the 6-liter V12 to 7 liters, or 7.3 in the 73 case, and made it mental. It makes like 500 and some horsepower. It is insane, and it is stupid rare, and it's also stupid expensive. Again, they never sold them here, so you can't buy them here. I believe some of them have made their way here again through the importation laws and whatnot, but that is one of my dream cars. I love the W140 Mercedes S-Class. That's my favorite S-Class. I love the S600. I really want one, but the cream of the crop for me would be an S70 or an S73. I mean, those are legendary cars. It embodies, like, when you look at it, especially if the all black ones, it looks like a old school gangster mafia car. It's oh my goodness, it's amazing. And especially with the monoblock wheels that people put on them. Oh, it's great. And then you pop the hood and you see that 7.3 liter V12 looking at you, and the noise it makes. Oh, which, quick fact, if you guys didn't know, that 7.3 liter V12 is the same engine that's in the Pagani Zonda. It was in production up until, I think, a couple years ago, because Pagani was making limited edition Zondas, so they were still using the same V12. So that's cool that 90s engine lived all the way up until the 21st century. That's amazing. But yeah, I love that car. It's a dream car of mine. I would pay any exorbitant amount of money to have one. I want one really badly, but you know, that's not really a car that I could probably daily drive. I probably would, but I'd be scared because of how much I paid for it. So that's going to be our number 2 on this list. So this is going to be the kind of bonus or the runner-ups. Now, it doesn't mean that these cars aren't as good. I just, these other ones, I just ranked them above them, which, like I said, this list isn't really like, how would I put it? It's not really like, oh, these are the 5 best or these specifically 5 only. It's, you know, all of the AMG cars I love. It's just that these 5 are my favorite. So runner-ups, we have the new Mercedes AMG GT series, which, whether it be the GTS, the GTR, the new Black series, I think they're fantastic supercars. Or you could put them in sports cars depending on which one it is. The GTR is a supercar. They're great budget ones for the price. The amount of car you get for the price is out of this world. Can't beat them. Then we also have the Mercedes W204 C63 AMG. That's the last naturally aspirated AMG ever produced. They ended production in 2013 or 14. I believe it's 14. They ended production in 14. The last naturally aspirated 6.2 liter was in the C63, and then they killed it, unfortunately. Now we have the twin turbo ones, which, don't get me wrong, another runner-up is the W205 C63, which has the 4-liter twin turbo V8. Bonkers car, amazing engine, downpipes, turbos, and they sound like race cars. There's just so many. I mean, we can name anything. Any AMG car is amazing. We have the pre-merger AMG Hammer. Oh, the 300C Hammers. Those are the W124 cars. Amazing AMG cars. And how cool is that name? The Hammer. That is just, oh my goodness. We have the old school 500 SEL AMGs. Just beautiful cars. But if there's one car that, in my opinion, and again, my opinion, stands above everything else. And I was thinking about putting these with the runner-ups, but I think I'm just going to combine it into one. My favorite AMG is the one I'm sitting in. You guys already knew. Come on. It's the W211 E55. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, in my opinion. It's perfect. Sounds great, drives great, comfortable, looks amazing, nice interior. I could keep going forever. It's amazing. I love this car. It's great. I mean, just go ahead and watch my video on the 5 things I love. I went crazy because this car is crazy and it's amazing. But along with the E55, I'm going to throw in just any E-Class AMG wagon. Maybe it's a car guy thing, but the fact that I could go buy right now in the dealership a 600 horsepower estate or wagon here in the States that I can haul my family with, like, let's say if I was married and had kids and the dog in the back, and have 600 horsepower from the factory. That is wild. I mean, that's amazing. I love Mercedes, but there are some questionable decisions that they've made, like now making the C63 a 4-cylinder. What are you doing, Mercedes? What are you doing? I mean, I just don't understand. But regardless of that, these are just, oh my goodness. I love the E-Class. It's my favorite Mercedes, and in general, the W211 E55. Best Mercedes, in my opinion. That's why I said for the number 2, the S70, it was kind of flip-flop, because I love the W140, but the more I thought about it, the 211 E55 is just, has my heart. I love this car to death. And that goes along for the wagons, too. I mean, whether you get which are really rare, the W211 E55 wagon, they're extremely rare here in the States. I think there's like 20 something of them, or no, there's more. That I don't know. I've seen a bunch of them, or I've seen them online on other videos. The E63 wagons, they're fantastic. I mean, they're beautiful cars. They're fast, insane. I mean, I could just keep going. And I don't want to hold you guys more. I kind of want to keep this under 20 minutes. But, oh my goodness. I mean, there are so many amazing AMG cars. And it's hard for me to talk about just 5. I mean, like I said, I mentioned the other ones in the runner-up. But, yeah, let me know in the comment section what your list is. If it differs from mine, that's okay, because we all have different opinions. I want to hear your list. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Let me know, and go ahead and like this video, subscribe, because we have a lot more content coming on the AMG, on my E55. And I found some people today at a car meet that have C63s, W204s, that want to go to Mexico and test out our cars, which that's going to be very fun. I can't wait for that. But yeah, I hope you guys all have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.